see. Let's see. All right. Are we live? Yes, yes, we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so tonight's stream, it's going to be a little different. What I am effectively doing is looking for a new game engine. So raise your hand if if you know what game engine I should be using or anything, any recommendations at this point. Tonight we're going to be looking at a little bit of Godot. We're going to be looking a little bit of Game Maker. Uh, as much as I don't want to, maybe later we might actually look at Unreal Engine, but that's much later. Right now, I'm not working on a 3D game, as you guys may have not known. Um, since all the controversy that's happening with Unity, I am officially switching game engines. Now, it kind of sucks because you guys haven't been updated yet, but I've actually gotten far, and I mean very far in my game. Like from the last time that we streamed, I was creating characters, but I actually had a select screen. I actually had, in all intents and purpose, a fully playable demo. And I was updating it and I was making sure everything was working. I even had pushed a couple updates to the store to make sure test stuff on the device. And now we're in the midst of all of this, and now it's time for me to look for another game engine. So it's been a long time since I've used Game Maker, but I think it's time for me to get my feet wet again. I think it's time. So I touched a little bit of Godot the other day, and it went as good as it was gonna go. And then it's been so long since I've touched Game Maker that I'm basically new to this. Last time that I touched it was Game Maker 7, because I still have some of the assets and some of the games that I worked on, which I really need to start uploading those things. They were, what was it? One was two of them were college projects, but one of them was the World Organization that actually flew me and a couple of my other colleagues and classmates to the World like convention, where we brought all people from different countries over to basically get funding for our college. And I created with a couple of my other friends. You may know one of them, which is Jaden. He's usually on here. He's from Rebellious Nature. Me and him worked on that college project as well as we had Mike. I don't want to dox people, so I'm not going to say their last names, as well as Alex. Sorry, Elise. Wait. Yeah, I think it was Alex. Oh, man. He's going to kill me if he ever sees this, but yeah, we worked on it. It's a platformer. Wasn't that great back in the day. I'll see if I can fish it out, and then we can basically take a look at it. And then I worked on, which now I'm a little ashamed of working on, but it was a troll game, keep in mind. And the name of the game was Petal Bear Quest for Little Girl. Now it's very cringy, but it is effectively a Super Mario World clone. I followed a bunch of wizardly tutorials, and yeah, as well as with Rebellious Nature, back before he was even rebellious. We also worked on a Mega Man X project. in GameMaker 7. I think I have a prototype of that somewhere on my hard drive. Because I really have to dig through the crates for that one. Let's see. Yeah, I have them all here because I make sure to keep everything as well as I can. But I know I'm not trying to dig through the crates. Trust me, I'm really not. But hey, we can we can all live, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's right here. We have the scans of the character, the finished textures. Ooh. Yeah. All right. It's loading, guys. It's loading. Uh, I don't know if I played it recently. I should say. I was showing it off to a couple of my friends, and okay, yep, here we go. Yeah, back when I was Ghost Media, from the creator of Trollala. Ugh, ugh. Yeah. Let me lower this on my end of stuff. This is how old this is. Back when I was still trying to get this YouTube channel started or just dig into the crates. And I thought I was cool with my Habitica font here. And it is playable. And then like I was actually working on stuff and trying to make things better. I am in no means I am nowhere near a graphic designer. I will tell you that. And I always stick to that. I'm not great at this stuff. But I was working on, select screens back in the day. Like, I was really impressed by this. Like, where is it? Okay, whatever. There's cutscenes. And, of course, now I'm blocking the little character, but yeah, like, oh, there you go. And then look, you can actually run, and I got little cops. They're the enemies, and just like in Mario Brothers, you can actually expire. I submitted this as my first year of college. This was literally my first project that they had me work on. Back then, it didn't actually have a select screen when we first submitted this, and then I worked on it a little bit more. Um, Over here, it was supposed to be working ladders because I was working on something else, but I never got to actually implement that because I was still learning stuff. And you know, I was actively working on these things, and I never got a chance to see, like, it even starts you back on this level. I was very impressed when I went back to this and I actually played it. Like, oh, I'm not paying attention, but we also had what was it, controller support, because I was about the first one to learn that in our group, and then I showed everybody else how to do it because this is all hard coded. Like, this is not drag and drop by any means, but I want to show you this. This is the best part. I actually had a windscreen. I had looked at this and I was so impressed with myself. Keep in mind that back then, the only knowledge of programming that I had was HTML. And every single time that I went to something like, you can't get out of this. It's basically stuck. But I worked on that. I was very impressed. And when I submitted this, the teacher actually couldn't get through the level because I, back then I used to play a lot of emulators, and I'm I didn't have a controller. The controller that was for the submarine, that controller, that was the one I actually used back in the day, but it wasn't wireless. It was actually with the USB. And and I used to play all my emulators with the same setup, arrow keys and Z and X. That's how I know what the jump button it was and what was run. Z and X. That was always it. That was submit and cancel. And um, I know I'm dating myself, but um, he didn't actually get past anything. He was grading every little aspect of it, and uh, he couldn't get past the first part. He kept dying in the pit, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're great, you're great." And I was like, "Well, I could show you exactly how to conclude this." And I showed him how the ending was, and he was like, "Man, for somebody that only worked on HTML, I have to give you credit. you you sir are pretty impressive." I'll just go with that one. I don't mean to toot my own horn, toot, but that was basically the whole gist of everything. I was basically the greatest of all time because I could do that. And in my friends group, I was the coding master. I know Jaden probably will disagree, but I helped a lot of people. I was really good at coding, and everybody else was really good at everything, at all the other stuff. But that was about my one claim to fame. There's more of them. Like, I can't believe that I'm actually showing these because a lot of these I thought I would never ever show. So we can go to that first game that it was talking about, which this was the precursor. This was Tralala. Like, doop, doop, doop. Yeah, you can't do that because I was still working on stuff. This was literally what I wanted to work on. Because, like I said, I'm a true Nintendo fan, true and true. And I wanted to create something that I would be proud of. And this was me starting to learn how to do texture work. That's what these weird ground looking textures were. I thought I was so cool. I know it doesn't look that great. Yeah, you can't go underneath it. But yeah, I thought it was so cool. I thought it was so great. I was like, man, yeah, I'm gonna do all this stuff. This was me in Game Maker. Look, I have the death animation, everything. You even have the score up top with the lives if you haven't seen that. Um, I think this one also has the win animation or like the end screen. I'm not sure. This is. I thought I'd never show these things. I was always trying to make a dedicated video for this, and I never got to it. I just never did. And it was always on the back of my mind, like, hey, I'm gonna go through the archives and I'm just gonna show off my old games, my old projects. I know to a lot of people these may look very mediocre. I know. Trust me, I get it. But when you're learning game making for the first time, these projects, oh, oh yeah, I had Little Bear. I forgot I had Little Bear. That was the final. That was the boss. I was working on boss fights. Yeah, and then how it just glitches out because, yeah. If you notice, the score just basically resets itself. It doesn't progressively save because, again, I was still learning stuff. I didn't know that that was a thing. The timer doesn't really work. You don't really collect coins because there's no coins. I haven't worked on that. You do have lives. I don't think they work. Um, yeah. Now we'll leave him with his no seizure, and that's why it says in the beginning of the second of the other game, from the creator of Tralala. This was what Tralala was. Like I said, these were games that I never thought in a million years anybody would ever see. I never thought. And I still was hoping that no one would ever see them. It's all out funny to me. All out funny to me. Um yeah, let's see. There's still some more games in the archive that I have. Um yeah, I was working on Ghost Adventure, this thing. What is it? Gamescom. That was for the convention before we knew what the name of it was. I know you guys don't see any of this stuff. I can see what I'm looking at, but uh, uh, I don't even know if you can actually open this in. I don't know. I think you can in the new version of Game Maker. You probably can't. And yeah, you can't. Oh, that sucks. I have the latest iteration. I do have some other stuff that I was testing and working on. I can show you guys. Let's see. Yeah, this was. Yeah, you guys don't see it, but yeah, this was. I actually have a YouTube video for this one, surprisingly. Um, this was me working on a top-down shooter, and I actually drew the sprite, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, man, this looks amazing. And then, yeah, I got stuck, and then that's when I started diving into Unity. Let's see if I can pull this video up. Let's see. YouTube Studios. Let's go. Yep, here we go. So this was effectively the last time that I worked on Game Maker. This was the last time that I worked on Game Maker. This is 2012, guys. 2012. And I had effectively got stuck and I couldn't figure out why in the directions the bullets weren't actually just shooting in one direction. Every time you would turn about face, they would do this thing. Now, as a more veteran game developer, I know why. But back then, nah, I couldn't figure it out. I had no fucking clue. Those little squares that you see, the little blue ones, that is actually where the spawns were going to be for the zombies, because I effectively wrote this game like 3 times. When I swapped out of here, I actually started working on a Unity project that was doing the same thing. And it was actually in 3D. I used the same assets and all that other stuff like that, and I got stuck here, couldn't figure this out, and I was asking people for help. So it was Game Maker 8. It wasn't 7. Yeah, it's been 10 years. So I've been effectively working on Unity. Yeah, because I started in 2013. So effectively, it is now been 10 years that I've worked with Unity. And it's been 10 years since I worked on Unity. And it is very bittersweet. It is very, very, very bittersweet that after today, or after yesterday, was the last day that I will effectively be working on Unity. And now I can lay it to rest. I can focus on other stuff and move on and be able to diversify and move away from it. Because back in the day, what it all started was I was working in Game Maker. While everybody stood in Game Maker, I was moving into Unity because I was like, oh man, this was back in the day when Unity still had JavaScript, and I was actually proficient in JavaScript, and that's what made me want to go that route. And while everybody was still in Game Maker, I was persuading everyone that I was working with, hey, Unity allows you to do this. Unity allows you to do that. Unity allows you to do this. Unity will allow you to create HTTP requests, while Game Maker was still relatively drag and drop. I still have the I still have the executable of Game Maker, and I'll probably pull that out because it has some projects that never saw the light of day and never got actually made into executables. And I'll probably just start putting them on itch.io so you guys can just mess around with them. And man, but yeah, I convinced everybody into using Unity, and everyone started to jump ship the same time, that a little bit after I did. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jaden was 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, because he was still working on a Mega Man X project. I know Michael, he was still working on Game Maker, but I think he jumped ship, and then he decided to do more art stuff. Ooh, excuse me. And Alex was still, he was an artist, and he was always sketching stuff, and I saw him not too long ago, but he never really did the game development aspects of stuff. I do have, so you guys don't get to see any of this stuff. Then this is the part that sucks, because I really would love for you guys to be able to see this. Oh, I still have the. Oh, okay. Sorry to drop topic, but I do have the main character Photoshop files. So sometime I can jump. I can jump back into that. World Ord main. Okay, so you guys can somewhat see what we were working on with the World Ort stuff. Alex ended up drawing this here, which was the body. We ended up in Photoshop taking everything and then attaching the head. So effectively making animations. I remember this being painstaking. Oh man. And see, this was the main character. This was so painstaking, because what we ended up doing was we left this head here, and we ended up, because I had a little bit more Photoshop skills than the other devs, and we would match the outfits up so he would have the animations. Oh man, this brings me back to memory lane. And I was hoping that it would let me do it and you could flip back and forth. And then yeah, we had crouching. And then at some point we ended up coloring these in Photoshop, cuz the main attack was flashing, and then we had, yeah, this was, I think we got rid of the flash, and then we kept this one where he was throwing calculators. Because they told us that the game was a little too violent. Um, let's see. Let's see if I can pull up Photoshop, guys, because like I said, I have a lot of this stuff, and it's all archived. This is the first time that I'm effectively looking at this stuff in a very long time. Like, I graduated college in what, 2013. So this was the, I don't remember what that was. Um, it may be the first one that we threw everything into. But like I said, I don't remember. Yep. Yes, this was the animations. Oh man. See, we went in there and we painstakingly. I had cropped out that and put that in there, and we made the character. He looks like Archie. And then in here, I made sure that the character actually lined up. Yes, because this was my job effectively, and you can see that the character like lines up perfectly, somewhat, and they only gave us about like I think it was like a month to work on this. And I think this was like the hardest part because I took each one of those scans, I put them in here. I remember cutting these out. I colored the character. We made him into this nerd. I came up and colored it. Um, oh man, this is nuts. I never thought that I would actually. I didn't think I had any of this stuff. So, oh man, see, I colored everything. We made sure to do this. We did everything that we possibly could. We were rushing to get this done. It was an amazing, but it was also a very stressful time. Then I also had the tower defense. Oh no, that was the top down shooter. Yeah. And then 7, what is all this? Oh, that's all the stuff I showed you guys cuz I effectively only had 2 games for Game Maker. But I did have some other projects that I worked on, and I need to install Game Maker. I need to install Game Maker because I need these games to come back. And then what you guys don't know, right, is the amount of games that I worked on in Unity, right? I can't show you the what is it, the folder, because it kind of has some sensitive information in here. So, man, this is like it's nuts because this is going down the memory lane of what's it called? Memory lane of everything that I worked on in Unity. Oh man, I touched most of these files. This one here, 2013. So we have a third person camera that I was working on. The Android game, which was casual. I think this was the top down shooter. The platformer, which you guys would effectively known as the Yeti game. All this stuff is on my YouTube channel. Like some of this stuff, I should say. It's actually in the playlist, game development, I think. Let's see. Yeah, some of it is. Let's bring this over here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I know some of you guys probably think I'm crazy. But yeah, like I worked on animations. This video here was when Ouya was very popular, or when it first released. I actually got this as my graduation present from college. That's why, hence November. And I was working on a, what is it? 3D, a 3D open world game, which I called Project GTA. This game, or this project that I was working on, when I first even uploaded this video, this was the first video. No, one of the first videos that I ever had that got claimed. GTA 5 had just coming out, and what is it? 2K Games actually hit me with a copyright claim on this video, and they were claiming all the monetization for this video here. yes, with the 600 and some odd views, it hurt a lot because this was actually at the time one of my most viral videos because it had that GTA name in it, and that's what they were claiming at the time. Didn't matter what you were doing. Um, which, yeah, let's open it up. You guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. I'll mute it. See? That same controller that they had. That's what I was saying. Like, I had the same controller as that submarine at the time. I had like, oh no, it was the one. It was wireless. Okay, so this one I had like 6 of these controllers. They were terrible, terrible controllers, guys. Terrible controllers. And I know I'm supposed to be looking for a game engine, but I wanted to to go through memory lane a little bit. And I still have those headphones, by the way. I don't use them here because they're still in my childhood home, and but they actually would hurt my ears. That's why you had one side that wasn't covered up. But yeah, no. I actually made, and I still have this project. It's in my little archives folder. I did a little bit more to it. Like you can actually fire bullets. You can run around. I actually overhauled it a little bit. So now it is a first person shooter. And what was it? I created a waifu model. It's just an anime girl, but I was testing 3D models and I ended up creating her. What I ended up doing with there was I created a golem, and I was working on that. And then, and this was recently because I wanted to overhaul stuff and just start putting stuff on itch.io, especially old projects. And all that abruptly came to a halt because of all of this. And I might go back, finish it up just a little bit, or just make it somewhat playable and just start uploading stuff. But yeah, I worked on all of this, and then they hit me with a copyright claim because, oh man, 2K didn't want developers using that GTA name at all. At all. See, back then when we were still using Java JavaScript. That's why you have the Java compiler there. Oh man, this was good days, freaking good days. um, yep. Then I had this one, which was the racing game. I still have it. It's in a 3-pack now. It's 3 different games that I attached into one, and it was gonna be I was gonna put it on itch, and you were gonna be able to play 3 different prototypes. Just because I wanted to make it more like an arcade feel, because that's really what I'm into. I actually was actively working on this one here. Um, what is going on? Uh, what I was working on this one was I was actually created some models of arcade cabinets, and I was going to stack them up. You were going to be able to rotate them, and it was going to zoom in. You were going to see a little trailer video of them, and you can go into them and play them as needed. And it was pretty cool. I remember that. And this one was my most favorite game to play or create. Project Star. I don't remember what that is. Yeah, this is it. This was the first game that I started working on where Android was a thing. And this was going to be effectively uh the somewhat top-down shooter. This was what was replacing it. Um you were going to run around this city here. You were going to be able to see zombies spawn up. You were going to be able to fight them, but I was going to keep it on a 2D plane, so it makes it a little bit easier, especially for mobile. And that was it. Nothing fancy. This was me still learning how to do stuff. I had a pause button, had right and left, jump and jump and somewhat attack. But you can always see my retro inspired like UI. Yeah, back in the days, man. Then this one here. This is what the side project became. Yeah, that racing game that I was talking about. This is what that became. It became basically three different games in one. You were going to be able to scroll through them, be able to pick whichever one you wanted, and then go into there and play them effectively. See? And then it had the platformer because I wanted it to be all accessible in one place. Oh man, memory lane, memory lane. And it actually was playable on the on my Tumblr. Yep, yep. Look at me go. Wow, look at the precursor here. 9 years ago. And like I said, I have a lot more stuff that I've worked on since then. But you can see the progression. And we get to World Defender. And I've been working on this game for quite a while, and now it really sucks. And this one hits me hard. It's getting to the point where I might not even work on this game anymore because just the whole Unity situation. I might go back to it eventually, but I don't know. I don't know. Just because of the way Unity poo-pooed on everyone. Oh, I'm not surprised. There, a lot of people have been switching engines to Unreal. I have a love-hate relationship with Unreal. Um, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, and I get it, but I have a love-hate relationship with Unreal Engine. Um, I hated it. I've tried it before I went to Unity. I was using Unreal, and I absolutely hated it. And I don't think I'll ever use Unreal, to be honest. Even now, going through memory lane and scrolling through things, Unreal is just, I don't know, it's just something about it that I just don't like. And even on my YouTube channel, I was talking about it where like I was always promoting Unity because I just absolutely don't. Maybe it's just I don't understand Unreal Engine all that well, which is weird. But I think that's where the hatred comes of it. Maybe if I actually did use it, I might like it. But I don't know. Right now, I'm contemplating going to Unity. No, I'm sorry, not Unity. It's been so long. I'm thinking about going to Game Maker. You work on embedded systems, so I feel that. I love C++. This is why it doesn't make any sense to me why I don't like Unreal, but I love C++. But I was better at during the time I was better at JavaScript, so I went to Unity, and then I got good at C sharp, and then I stood there. But yeah, no, I actually really like C++. I may be just the only weirdo here, but but yeah, no, I'm really I'm lost here. Um, I tried a little bit of Godot. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about just like one day actually taking it serious. I'm curious. I'm curious on all the features. I've seen what is his name? Uh, he created Punch a Bunch. I forgot what the name of the dev is. Bunty, I think it. No, is it Bunty? I think. And he was using Unreal, and Unreal seemed like it was good for what he was doing, and it was really good. But I just don't know. I'm thinking about Godot, and I I started it. It just seems like it has too many options. Eh. So I don't know. Game Maker I'm familiar with, so I can just pick it up and get the business. But I don't know. It's pretty much everything you need to make a good game. Yeah. Like I said, I just I don't know right now. I I'm still trucking along. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Uh, I really should be trying to actually do something in this damn game engine. Okay. Let's see. Fair, my team has been discussing the Switch for a year. To what? To Unreal or to Godot? This was last draw. Yeah, after all the changes to Unity, I don't blame you. Oh, to Unreal. Okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense. Like I said, a lot of people have been going to Unreal, and it's an impressive system. I just personally, I just don't like it. I don't know. I might just have a bias, and it's still my Unity thing kicking in, but I just don't know. Okay. Oh, man. This is gonna be very weird. A game engine I haven't used in like almost forever. Um, I miss going through my memory lane. Oh yeah. Let's see. Reset layout. I think we're all just adjusting to the changes. Yeah. Oh, hands down. I if it was up to me, I would have never made the change. I would have still been working on Unity. Um, it's just it's weird. It's been when I looked up when I actually started working on Unity. It's been 10 years. So working on a game engine for 10 years and now having to switch and try to learn something new, or even just jump to something new, it it's absolutely like it's just crazy. I really wish that I didn't have to make this jump, but thank you, Unity. Okay, let's see. Now learning this damn thing. Here we go. All right. Then I don't know. I feel naked with this damn with just everything that's going on. Um, because like I said, where's Godot? Where is it? Yeah. Like I still have everything. Here we go. Godot. Yep. Like I started testing stuff on here, and it seems like a cool little game engine. It seems highly capable. I've seen a lot of little indie developers use this. A lot of them that I really like watching more than for research purposes, I should say. And now it's my turn to jump into these things, and I think my nerves are what's getting to me. Okay. But show must go on. So let's see. Getting started with Game Maker. Workspace. One of the main features. Oh, this is weird. Okay, let me pull this up on the screen so you guys can see what the hell I'm looking at. Alright, let's close all these damn tabs. So I was looking up stuff. Okay. So the workspace. Major change that you see the game makers. And now that you're presented with a workspace. And this is the area that will hold the windows associated with the resources that you're working on. It can be zoomed and panned as if it was an actual desktop to move everything around to workspace. Middle mouse button, hold down space. Okay. Okay, that's fine. But this is weird. Oh man. I just remember like you had it on the sidebar, it would be like this. This looks more like Photoshop. As you can see from the image above, GameMaker will chain together the objects within an event and with the code associated with each event in order to dedicate areas on the workspace to chain objects and navigate between them to get as far more visual representation of what's going on. Note that you will change some of the chaining properties from GameMaker preferences. So if, for example, that you would rather have the code for each event in multi-tabs in a single window rather than a window for each one of them. Okay, I get that. Okay, but where do we go to this part here? You'll see new resources in the resource tree. Okay, that basically was a nothing burger. That was an absolute nothing burger. Alright, YouTube tutorials it is. Ooh, excuse me. And the sad part about all this changing while I'm looking for stuff is I literally had just written an article about all the new changes and all the new updates that I have to the game. And then now this is where we're at. This is absolutely where we're at. No, I don't want that. I want a tutorial. Okay. I know you guys can't hear anything, but like I said, I'm still trying to learn all this damn stuff. So this one's gonna be a very fun, not so fun stream, probably. But I'll break it up with some good old stories from the past. Like I was doing in the very, very beginning. But is this even what version of it? I know this is sad, but I should really be paying attention to what version of Game Maker this is. This is 9 years ago, so I'm even late with this. Okay, so Even this is late to the party. So what version of Game Maker is this? Because I don't pay attention to stuff, I guess. Uh, Alright, create this asteroid game in a couple minutes. Okay, here you go. Let me go to the actual YouTube channel. Alright, so this tutorial here is, I'll put this on the screen so you guys can see what the hell I'm looking at. So this one here is asteroid, basically. And okay. Is this even playing in the right spot? Let me double check and find out. Because you guys should be able to hear what's going on here.
Text that we can program to move, fly, shoot, and do whatever we want.
Yeah. Let me kind of lower that a little bit. I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out.
Turn this up to 4 and hit create. Now let's go to each object.
Okay.
Give it a name and a sprite. I'll double click on the first one. I'll name this obj underscore player. So this will be the player shape from the asset browser.
All right. Let me bring this over here.
So we are telling GameMaker that this is what this object looks like.
All right.
Then the second object, I'll name.
So we go to objects. I guess we'll create a new object. Right? Yeah, here we go. New object. Let's call this the player. Right? Sprite. Let's create a new one, I guess. Edit image. It doesn't have to be something fancy, right? Okay. Let's just go with that. Right. He's solid, I guess. No. Okay.
And this obj underscore bullets and apply the SPR bullet sprite. And then the next object will be obj rock. This will have the big rock sprite because rocks will be big by default. Using it now in your game. Yeah. So on the screen so the player can see it.
Okay.
The way you do that is by using a room. So open the room that's already there in the asset browser. Now this is the area that you see
Okay.
in the game.
So here we go. We open up a room.
In your game. But before doing that, I'll go into the room settings and change the size to 1000 by 1000.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go.
So it's a simple square. If you don't see these options, just click on the room in the asset browser and then you'll see them. Now if you want to put anything in a room, it has to go into a layer. You can see all of your layers here, and the one where you want to put your objects is the instances layer. So select that, and then from your objects, drag the player into the room. I'll also drag some rocks and place around 6 of them. Now something interesting here is that each rock you placed in the room is an instance of its object. So here there are 6 instances of the object,
Okay.
and that's why the layer is also called instances. So from objects, you create instances. If you run the game right now, you see what you put in the room, but nothing moves at all because we haven't programmed our objects yet. So back in GameMaker, let's
Okay.
close the room
Let's see if this actually
and double click
runs.
on OBJ Player to open
Okay.
it.
That looks
Then
terrible.
click on Add In.
Just to give you a heads up, that looks terrible. But yeah, baby steps, right? Baby steps. Okay. Yeah, let's go in here. Let's edit the sprite. Okay, that one there. No. What is it? Edit image. There you go. Okay. Let's. Let's delete all of this. Actually, I think it'd be better if we go to photo. If I could actually spell Photoshop. Go to Photoshop. We'll create an object, I guess. Guys, I don't need any tutorials. All right, new file. Yep, 16 by 16. Let's keep that. We are going to fit screen. Grab the brush. I can't like just move this somewhere, like not in the damn way. Okay. All right. Because it's a black background, I want to do something light, something easy. What would be easy? Let's go this way. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. We're going to duplicate layer. Yep. What is it? It's layer. What is it? No. I forget how to do this damn thing. I do it like almost every single day, and every single time I forget how to do it. No layer adjustment. No, that's not it. Layer style. Variable rotate. No, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to flip the layer. It's sad. Like I said, I do this on a daily damn basis at this point, and then every single time I forget how to do it because I'm like, well, I'll remember this time, and then I forget. And then my friends are like, hey, like, you're the one that tells us how to do it every single time. And then whenever I need to do it, no. Yeah, I'm just going to look it up. My ass forgot. What is it? Flip layer. Okay, let's see. Oh, I can just do it that way. Wrong one. Should be this one. No, that's not it. Damn. Excuse me. Gotta transform. Oh. I was like, I remember it being somewhere here. We can leave it like that. There you go. We're gonna flatten these. Merge layers. Oh. Let's painstakingly color this, I guess. We're going to use a blue ball. And we're going to play. Just so we can be obnoxious. We're going to call him Eduardo. Export. We're going to do save for web. Makes it a little bit easier. PNG is fine. Yeah. I'm going to put this over here because I don't need you guys looking at my stuff. Save project. My man, I don't know where you save this as. Okay, save as documents. Okay. Documents. Game Maker 2, blank game, sprites. Yep, replace it. Yep, reload. We'll make this easy. All right. Okay, go to room. My man. Edit sprite. No, import. I'm gonna go over here. Like I said, you guys don't need to be looking at my stuff. Game, sprites, sprite 1. Oh. Okay, so we'll resave them. Save as. Oh no, nope. I forgot. Export. Save for web. Save. Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Default settings. Untitled one. Yeah, let's just save them there. That's fine. Okay. Okay. On here, is there any way that we can like zoom into the character? Like, okay, there you go. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay. Um. Okay, edit object. I would assume that that'd be edit object, add event. No, that's. I want a script. Okay.
Events and add the step event. If you're asked to choose between
Because
GML code and GML visual, select GML code if you want to write code, or select GML visual if you want to use visual blocks to program your game. Then enable Don't Ask Again for this project
okay.
and hit OK. So now this is an event. You can program
Step.
this event to, for
Step.
example, move your ship. And
Yeah,
that
don't ever
event
ask again. I want to actually
because
code.
this is the step event. It runs at every step.
Yeah.
Different events might run at a different time. Let's program this event now. Now if you chose GML visual, look to the left, or if you chose GML code, then look to the right. In the event,
Bar.
we first want to check if the up arrow is held down. If it is, we want the ship to move. So to make the ship accelerate forwards, we want to do this. But keep in mind, when adding this action in GML visual, make sure you're dropping it to the right of the green
Oh.
action. And that's because the green action is a condition, and you can
Uh,
add actions to it.
oh man.
And those actions will only run if the condition is
Uh,
true. So attach it there. And here we are running the motion add function. This basically adds motion to the instance in a particular direction, and that direction in this case is the image angle of the instance. That's how much the sprites of the instance has turned around. So we add motion in that direction, and the amount of motion we add is 0.1. So you can change this if you want to make the ship slower or faster. This will make your ship move, but you can't turn yet, so let's work on that. Let's add a condition to check if the left arrow key is held down. In that case, we'll increase the image angle variable by 4, which will turn the sprite
oh
to
man,
the
this
left.
is so weird.
Then we check if the right arrow key is held down, and in that case, we decrease the image angle value by 4, which will turn the sprite to the right.
This is so weird. What is that? That'd be. I need to.
So run the game and you can now move and turn. It's almost perfect, but the problem is that if you go outside the room, you're basically lost. You never come back. We want to wrap around the room, so if the ship goes out from one end, it comes back from the opposite end. So for that,
Okay.
back in the step events, just add this outside of any conditions. This enables wrapping horizontally and vertically, and if you run the game, you'll see it in action. You now can't exit the room at all. And with this, our first step is finished. We've got the ship to move and turn, and now what we're going to work on is shooting, and one end it comes boom, you're basically lost to the left. And then we check if the right arrow key is held down.
Alright, let me go back on this because I wasn't paying attention to motion.
Action in the event, we first want to check if the up arrow is held down. If it is, we want the ship to move. So So to make the ship accelerate forwards, we want to do this. But keep in mind when adding this action in GML Visual, make sure you're dropping it to the right of the green action. And that's because the green action is a condition and you can attach actions to it, and those actions will only run if the condition is true. So attach it there, and here we are running the motion add function. This
Okay.
basically
So I think this is correct. Okay. I think this is correct. So let's try it. Okay. So negative. Okay. Let's save that. Let's try again. All right. It's been a very, very long time since I've worked on anything in Game Maker, so
the instance in a
I
PLR
feel
and that direction in
I
this
feel like a
case
noob.
is the image angle of the player.
Like I know you're supposed to watch tutorials to
Has turned around.
gain somewhere, but like I
So
said,
to
I
change
really
that
feel like
direction,
a fish out of
the
water at
angle
this
motion
point.
we add is 0.1. So you can change this if you want to make the ship slower or faster. This will make your ship move, but you can't turn yet. So let's work on that. Let's add a condition to check if the left arrow key is held down. In that case, we'll increase the image angle variable by 4, which will turn the sprite to the left. And then we check if the right arrow key is held down, and in that case, we decrease the image angle value by 4, which will turn the sprite to the right.
Okay.
So if the ship goes out from one end, it comes back from the opposite end. So for that, back in the step event,
They
let's
have
add
the
this
motion add
outside
here,
of animations. This
right?
enables wrapping
They
horizontally
have
and vertically,
motion
so in the game, you see this action.
add,
You now can't exit the room at all.
but
And with this, our first step
yeah,
is
you know
done.
it
We've got
it
the ship,
creates some sort of
we've
like
turned,
propeller,
and now what we're going to work
but
on is
it's weird.
shooting and destroying the rocks. Now to add shooting, we want to create an instance of obj bullet at the ship's location when we press the left mouse button. So back in the same step event of the player, let's add another condition to check if the left mouse button was pressed. This only checks if the left mouse button was just pressed, so holding it will not continue to fire. If the button was pressed, we create an instance of obj bullet. It will be created at the location of the player and in the instances layer. And with this, you can now shoot with the left mouse button. But of course, the bullet doesn't go anywhere because it's not programmed to move.
Ooh, excuse
Let's
me.
go into obj bullet and here add the create event. This event only runs once and it runs when the instance is created.
I really feel like a damn
In
noob.
this event, we're going to set the speed
This is
of
like
the instance to
ridiculous.
10, so it moves in its direction at a speed of 10 pixels per frame. And then we are setting the direction to the image angle of the player. So the bullet moves in the direction that the player is facing in. Now you will be able to shoot moving bullets, but once they go outside the room, they'll continue to exist forever, and that's not good. So once they go outside the room, you
Okay,
want to
let's
destroy
see.
them. So in the events, add a new event, go under other, and select outside room. In this event, let's simply destroy the instance. So when the bullet does go outside the room, it's destroyed immediately. Run the game and you can now shoot freely wherever you want. So you've got the core parts of your game finished, and what we'll work on next is destroying the rocks. Before we try to destroy the rocks, let's give them some life by making random direction and its image angle value becomes a small rock, and if it's already a small rock, then it respawns as a big rock. This way your game never ends because you never run out of any rocks. So let's go into the obj rock object, and here add a new collision event with the obj
Alright.
bullet object. This event will run every time the rock is in
I
contact.
think my brain is fried for tonight.
You can program what happens when they interact.
I'm gonna do a little more homework tomorrow. Sorry about that. I'm gonna do a little more homework tonight, and then I'll return later on. This is gonna be a fun time. But with that one, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.